Good evening, this is your Psychic LG reporting from the United Kingdom. Is anybody there? Knocked once for yes, twice for no. Hello, hello, hello. Hiya, Lance. Good evening, or is it good afternoon to you? Or early evening? Clocks have moved back here, so it normally would be 10 o'clock, I believe. Clocks have moved back, I should have said. So it's now 11:08 p.m. Hiya, Walker Horty. Early even for you. Yeah, so they've moved the clocks back in the UK, so I'll just wait for people to come on. Hiya, Bumblebee. Hiya, Michigan. Good evening, everybody. Let's see if I've gone live this time and we don't have any no bumpy rides like we did the last time. Hi in Sweden. It's good evening over there too, isn't it? Yours? Are you an hour behind in front? Oh, we're the same now. I really don't know. I get mixed up with the clocks moving back. Hi, everybody. I've just checked to see if I've gone live on the other platforms, which I don't believe. Oh, I have. Now, that's so funny. So you know how the last time I had changed it to tea leaves? And it's still tea leaves. And it's not, guys, it's World Predictions tonight. I'm going to be doing the tea leaves next week. So that was a crazy ride, wasn't it? What happened last week? And I'll tell you all about it when you all come on. Very crazy ride. Let's see if I've gone on Facebook. My eyes have got a bit funny. Just hide some makeup on. It was a strange vibe, wasn't it? Let's see. Yes, I've gone vibe. I've gone live. Goodness me. Okay. So I'll put that over there so it doesn't get broken. So good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you all are around the world. This is Underground. We are going to delve deep tonight. This is raw. Everything's live and raw. Yeah. When I first started off doing this, it was just on Twitch, and I thought, you know what, let's go for it. Let's start hiding it out everywhere. You're getting a black screen, Ladybird? You shouldn't be. Does everybody else can see us? Yeah, I'm going to tell everybody about it when I get everybody on, Lance. Very unusual, wasn't it? Give us a 5-5 if you can hear us and you can see us okay. I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's if you reboot it, Lady Aid or Ladybird. All good? That's good. I'll wait for a few more to come on. Hiya, Wendy. Should we go multi-stream and see what's going on here? It's a strange old time, isn't it? I've still got you all up, just come up with a different shade. I'm still learning, guys. I'm still learning. Hiya, Jackie in Highland Hills on Facebook. And everybody, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Foxverse says, can you tell me the future for me and my girlfriend? I'm going to be doing personal Thursday next week. I'll be doing Tuesday, I'm not so sure yet. Possibly remote viewing and woo-woo stuff. World Predictions on a Sunday. Just going to go with it. So next week I'm going to be doing personal for you all, because I know everybody can't afford to have a reading. Because with readings it's more personal and it's you get his full one-to-one. Chocolate Factory. Hiya, No Shields, just up the road. You like woo-woo, do you, Michelle? Yeah, it's all woo-woo at the minute. We don't need to. I mean, it's crazy woo-woo at the minute, isn't it? Very, very crazy. So I'll tell you what happened. And I hope everybody's keeping well in these strange times. I've had a nice day today. I've been to like this farm shop. can't even remember what it's called. I have my daughter-in-law's on here, or my son, they'll tell us. It was a very nice place, very similar to where I went the last time, but not as far out. I went to Slaley Hall the last time, had a nice time. There was a spa there and everything. This was like a farm shop. It had donkeys there, and donkeys, they were so cute. And it was up past Hexham, Slaley Way. It's like out in the country, out in the sticks. And we went to a lovely little tea shop, and we had something to eat. And then there was a gift shop there. It was just nice, just to be out in the country. And I was up quite early actually this morning. I made a Sunday lunch. I made roast beef and Yorkshire puddings. So it was quite a pleasant day. But do you know what it is? It's every time they come and pick me up, it starts to rain. Every time I go out, it starts to rain. It's so strange. Hello in South Africa. What's it like, the weather over there? Are you warm or is it cold? So we're going to look into most countries as we can tonight. But I'm going to tell you about what happened. What day was it, lads? Would have been Thursday, wouldn't it? So Thursday night we were supposed to be doing the tea leaves. So I gets all ready to multi-stream. I had my teapot. And, spirit moves in mysterious ways. When spirit wants to do something, spirit will do something, especially when you're talking different gods and goddesses and high beings of the light. And of course, I did not expect Ra to come through, God Ra. So, I still don't know what happened. I wasn't censored or anything like that. I kept checking my computer. But spirit can get through into the wires, it can get through into the ether. And this is the second time I brought Ra through. So I do believe I'm making a connection with Ra. And I don't know if anybody ever seen the video where I brought through a strange being. I might have put it on it's on Twitch, but I may have put it on my Daily Spiritual. I need to get back onto Daily Spiritual as well, guys, because I've got all the one egg in the fridge to do yous again. I'm just trying to get balanced doing these lives. But yeah, Ra came through again. And I believe that he didn't want it out in many places. It had gone out on Facebook, and I think there was a small number of people had seen it on Facebook. But he told us to take it down. He told us it was a small group on Twitch. It stopped it going out on YouTube. This is what I believe what happened. We may have had interference. There was definitely negative energy because I tried 3 times with the live stream, kept spinning. And then eventually I got connected on Twitch and I had a small audience. I don't know how many there was in. But it was well, if you haven't seen it, you can get it and check it out on the last stream on Twitch. And it was something that I've never experienced before. He had handpicked people in the audience to come in with us, like a close circle. Did you like one egg in the fridge? I've still got them to do. But it was major interference, wasn't it? And friends and followers who were watching us back said that I sounded like I was on helium. So there was a lot of spirit activity. It was like all radio activity coming in from different angles. It was the most bizarre thing. I was very wiped out the next day. Ross told us not to channel too much because it can be very exhausting. But I've got quite a connection with Ra. And it doesn't surprise us really because I believe I've had a past life with these beings over there in ancient Egypt. So you will be getting more of Ra. And I've also had Jazz coming in again from the future. I'm hoping that she'll come through tonight. Because also I telecommunicate is for new followers coming in. I'm a medium clairvoyant. I read for people around the world. I do will predictions. I do anything strange phenomena, anything. And I'm an astrologer as well. But I'm also a psychic channeler. And I don't always channel the people and the gods and the angels from the spirit world. I also can channel live beings where it's telecommunication. And not all of them are alive, but most of them are alive. Some of them are in spirit. So yeah, it's a very bizarre. It just unfolds all the time, you know. There's no ending to finding out what's out there. So Jazz came through, and she was in a raw remote viewing, I believe it was, wasn't it, Lance? Or anybody else who remembers this? It was this female came through, and she was a super soldier from the future. So I channeled her. I believe it's in the listing in YouTube as well, so you'll be able to check it out on the lives. So yeah, so we're just going to go with it tonight, and I'll wait a bit. We've got 5 people in. But you can't plan it, can you? And it certainly was not planned. If anybody tried to see me live streams on Thursday night, you would see that I kept getting chucked off. So it was a plan of tea leaf readings, and of course it didn't end up that way. But you will get your private tea leaf readings. I don't know if I should do them all as star signs or hand-pick people out the audience. But we'll just go with it. Spirit definitely has other plans. Yeah, I've been communicating with Jazz over the last 48 hours again, and she wants to give more information about the future. So she's an interesting lady. She really, really is. And it's 20... Where was she coming in from? What year was it? Was it 2030? Or no, it was past there, wasn't it? We had my anniversary tier showed, and I have subscribed to all this time. Oh, that's nice. So, to anybody, I'm also going to be doing lives next week, and it will be Thursday. I'm going to be taking live calls for people who want personal readings. I'll be reading your teacup or pulling some cards for you. It's 2050, wasn't it? To participate in this, I'm asking people if they can be a subscriber to my Twitch channel to get into the and then you have to join the other thing. What's it called again? Oh my God, what's my brain like tonight? Discord. Join Discord, that's free. To join Twitch, it's free. But to subscribe, there's 3 tiers. One of them is quite cheap, quite reasonable. And that means then you can phone in, because I'm going to be having all sorts of spooky nights and everything. The links I will put in the description of this video on Facebook and YouTube. I'll do that for you all. So yeah, we're just like a little family, aren't we? We're like a little family. Let me get a cup of coffee. The Discord, I believe, is free to join. Yes, it's all free. But if you want to talk to us, you just have to subscribe to the Twitch channel. I think it's about £3. It's a couple of dollars. It's not that much. But there's different levels of it, but different perks. So you'll be able to ring in. And that should be fun, because I haven't done Discord for ages. The last time I did Discord was just on Twitch, and I was using Adam's gaming headphones. But I don't need that now. I've got this. I'm not very happy with this, actually. I'm going to get another one. I had a muff for this, but I lost it. So I need to get that sorted out. We're like a marvellous little family here, aren't we? So let's get started. So with the Discord... Sorry, I didn't get that about the Discord. So you've got to join the Discord if you want to ring in next week. It's free. But then you also, if you want to ring in to talk to us, you have to join the Twitch and subscribe. A lot of people are following us. I think I've got nearly 5,000 people now following us on Twitch, but hardly any subscribers. All right, just to support the channel, that's all. But there's different levels of it, and I'm getting somebody making us emojis. It's Debbie's daughter making us emojis. So the cheapest is $4.99. But yeah, so we'll just take it from there and we'll see what. But you can, correct me if I'm wrong, you can subscribe to my channel through Amazon Prime. And I'm sure it's free, but don't quote us. I'll get back to you on that one. I'll ask Luke about that one because Luke's the gamer and he'll tell us. I'm sure. Amazon Prime is free. Grammy's just said it. So you can subscribe to my channel through that. May as well. You know what I mean? As we see in the northeast, Shy Ben's getting out. Do you know what I mean? Times are tight. So let's start. Yeah? So let's start. For new people who are following, I invoke all the angels in, just the way I was taught at the Spiritualist Church. I've only just started doing this, over, I would say, the last, is it 6 months to a year? Because I used to say the prayer in my head, and I thought, why am I doing that? I always used to say the prayer. I do this with anything that I'm doing when I'm open up to spirit, even readings. I'll say the prayer in my head, before and after to shut everything down. Because when you're talking to spirit, you've got to be careful. Do you know what I mean? But the ladies at the Spiritualist Church told us just to say it out loud, and then what it does is it protects everybody in the audience. So this circle tonight is for answers, and we're going to delve deep. And it's also, if you need healing, you will receive healing tonight. Or if you're worried about any persons or yourself or animals, you can just write the name in the comment section, right? And you will receive healing. It's timeless. These are timeless podcasts, okay? You will receive healing. Okay? I'm going to invoke all the angels in now. I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael. I invoke Archangel Uriel, I invoke Archangel Uriel, I invoke Archangel Uriel. I've got to keep tight hold of this because I start chucking it about and I get a bit excited, guys. I invoke Archangel Gabriel, I invoke Archangel Gabriel, I invoke Archangel Gabriel. I invoke Archangel Raphael, I invoke Archangel Raphael, I invoke Archangel Raphael. Bless them. They're starting to come in now. Okay. Ooh, they're coming in quite strong. Right, and I ask Jed, my faithful spirit guide Jed. Here he is. White Buffalo, Star. Got Star to bring through for you yet. She's a female. Lady Direwolf. And A2I. I thank you all with love and light, love and light, love and light. Amen. Our circle may begin. You'll receive healing. Animals as well, they'll all receive healing. Even if you're worried about anything or anybody or anything, just write the name in the comment and they will receive the healing tonight. We're living in very trying times, guys, aren't we? Very, very trying times, and the world's gone potty. It's gone completely potty. Some of the stuff I'll try not to repeat what I put out on my looking glass, but obviously if it's there, it may come through still. But I did say in my last world prediction that there was going to be trouble brewing in the Middle East, around Syria and that, and obviously that's come off very, very strong. It just needs to all stop, guys, doesn't it? It needs to all stop. And I'm a little bit concerned about weather situations, what's going to be coming in. So I'm going to be looking into the globe for the weather situation. There's a lot of problems going on in France, so I'm going to be looking more into that. I'm going to try and take a good look into Canada tonight. I'm going to see what's going on with the state of the US at the minute, because good God, I mean, it's got totally out of hand, isn't it? I don't even know what the word is. I really don't know what the word is anymore for what's happening in the US. But it doesn't look good for Trump at the minute. So I'm going to look into that, and I'm going to just go with it, really. And I'm going to definitely look into the UK. Strange what came through on my looking glass about everything to do with Europe. Ukraine is having a bad time of it at the minute. I'm going to look into that. See what Putin's up to again. We're just going to go with the flow. So sit back and relax and let's look into the looking glass. Okay. Now you remember, I can't ask the bold questions. It's because I'm a scryer. Okay. This is really, really strange. I'm seeing lots of soldiers, right? And I'm zooming in, right? And I'm going straight to Ukraine again. Okay. It's absolutely terrible. And I would say it's worse than what they're putting out on the news. It's worse. Some people have got the power back on, but some people have definitely got the power off still. And I believe it'll be quite cold over there at the minute. Artillery. Now, I believe, I don't know if it was last night or a few nights ago, there was a lot of missiles set off, wasn't there, all at once? Getting Donbass. Is it Donbass again? He's up to something, right? And he's thinking of moving into an opposite direction. Okay. I am big announcements coming in with Belarus, but I'm also getting Germany really strong, guys. What my guide Jed is saying is that he's got all document papers which gives him the right to go over into these countries. Old laws or something. But he's like he's on a rampage at the moment. There's something to come out to do. I'm seeing the sea, all right? Could be around that area. And I'm seeing something about explosions or something I see. And I've said this to you before, where I say fire and sea. And I'm getting something about a submarine. Watch for that to come out. Okay. And I'm also getting the 10th or the 11th. Remember, everything I'm telling you will fall into place. But sometimes I can read a few months out. Do you know what I mean? And apologies if I can't read the chat when I'm doing this. Okay. So something's coming out. He's up to something. So everything what's been kicking off to do with Syria recently. In Iran, it's not so much the Iran people, it's sort of militant people off them or different groups. So is it ISIS? It's a different type of people, But I'm being given here paid operations. I want you to remember that. Paid operations. It's coming through really, really strong. Instead of seeing cloaked men in, like they've got balaclavas on, they look like snipers. Okay. So, they're also giving us distraction. And I said this a little while ago. I said, when it kicks off, and he did, right? I mean, he's just bombed Syria, hasn't he? that there was going to be him. Why would I say that? Is he connected? There's a connection. There's a definite connection to do with Iran and Putin. And it's this hidden underworld, isn't it? It's all to do with the economy. But I'm also getting, there's so much going on over there in Iran. I mean, the poor Iranian people, do you know what I mean? There's a lot of corruption, and it's horrendous what's going on with the banks and everything over there with the people. Horrendous. A lot of rot. There's a lot of rot to, what's the word? To come out here, to clean up. Right, so they are showing us that ISIS is still operating, but I'm also seeing another, there's another militant group. This is really weird, guys. I'm saying the word exit. Exit. And I see a state of emergency that's going to be across world news. So my understanding is this to do with Ukraine or is this to do with Syria? There's more problems to come. I want to say over the Middle East. And I'm sure I said this in one of my last world predictions that there would be lots of people coming in. I'm sure I did. I don't know which one it was. But there would be lots of people coming in over the borders and there would be a state of emergency. I'm also seeing this guy, and he looks sort of, I don't know if he's Iranian or he's some militant person. It reminds us of like an ISIS feeling. And it's coming across headlines. You know how there was supposed to be a guy taken out. I don't know if Trump was, when he was in power, he was supposed to have taken him out, or somebody was assassinated. This is somebody else who's rising. It's all about the gold. It's very, very weird what I'm seeing tonight. Very, very weird. Missiles. So the problem we've got here is that there could be, and I hope this doesn't happen, like a timeline where there could be the US striking in, going in there again. It's coming in very strong. And I'm getting the 11th, the 12th and the 13th and the 7th. The 7th could go down in history with some big news. And D, G or B, I don't know if that's named with a place or a person. But I'm seeing sort of men, they look like sort of shrouded men, look like Arabs. They've got like they have in Iran, and they're making, it's not like in Saudi Arabia, not that. It's more like in the Middle East. And they're making an announcement. And I want to send healing and blessings out to all our troops and our allies, okay? But what's going on, what they're showing me here is, what's going on in Ukraine is connected. It's all connected to do with what's going on in Syria. And I'm being given, it's not the Iranian government. This is another paid operative, different types of people. Very strange. So I'm going to pull some cards to see if the USA could possibly move in. Remember, it's all strategic. I'm terrible at saying words. But they've got to get it the right timing. And Biden's not the best person to make them decisions. You know what I mean? That's what I feel anyway. It's the people and the children, the women and the children. Since they had left all the weaponry over there, and they had left and pulled all the troops, the majority of the troops out of Syria, or was it Afghanistan? There's been a mess left. It's never got completely sorted out. This has got something to do with trade, guys. It's coming out really, really strong. There's a new up-and-coming leader, and I don't know if it's to do with ISIS or a different group of nasty people type of thing, trying to take control of Iran. But it's also got something to do with Russia. There's a connection. There's a connection with Russia. The different Easts have a connection. But the Iranian Prime Minister doesn't know it all. That's what I'm being given. He doesn't know it all. It's coming through really strong. It's all about the money, guys. It's all about the greed. Receiving money. You mark my words, there's going to be a lot of people fleeing that area. There's more strikes to come in Syria, and I think that at the same time there's a lot kicking off over in Ukraine as well. I'm not sure if it's by the end of this month, which we're coming into now, because they're giving us the 27th onwards, the 28th, 29th. So I don't know if it's the end of March or the end of April, something massively is going to kick off there. I'm getting this really strong. But this is happening for a reason. Yeah, there's it's all connected. It's definitely all connected. I know this sounds a bit twisted, but it's as if I want to say the people who are, saying this, that this is terrible, and the USA are saying that this is terrible and they're going to go in and they're going to retaliate. There's a strange twist of this, that it's the same people what's doing it. There's a connection. I'm not saying they're doing it, but they're linked. There's money involved here. It's all very hush-hush, isn't it? But looking at it surfacely, something's going to come out to do with banks. It's all about to erupt, guys. It's all about to erupt. There's the tower. There's the old system falling. And of course, when the old system falls, unfortunately, the people get affected as well. We've got the upside down justice. So there's a lot of injustice, what's been happening for a long, long time. So there's a lot of handshakes going on. There's a lot of deals being made. It's all about money. It's all about money. So at the moment, I just feel like I need to send healing and blessings out to the civilians, but also to the troops as well. The children, the women, the children, everybody who's innocent. It's not cleaned up properly, but there's something I just can't put my finger on. And I'm seeing a lot of tunnels underneath Afghanistan. A lot of tunnels. Be quite careful what I say, because the last time I said tunnels, I got taken. Tunnels can mean many things, but I say tunnels. Transporting people. It just reminds us of the film, The Three Kings. I've said this all the way through. If anybody hasn't seen the film, it's a marvellous film. I think it's got George Clooney in, actually. Three Kings, and it's all about Saddam Hussein's gold. In the meantime, we've got Gaia, who is trying to replenish herself and save herself, and you've got people who are starving and can't pay their bills, while all this is going on, all this drama. And in the meantime, there's this drama going on in the US to do with what's going on around Trump, but there's bigger pictures going on behind the scenes. A little while ago, I had done a channeling, I believe, or a remote viewing, and I had ended up in a lighthouse in the middle of the North Sea somewhere. Can anybody remember that? And I was sitting with secret soldiers, and there was some submarines and all of that type of thing. And it's sort of near the Black Sea. There was a lighthouse. I'm going there again. So Putin hasn't just got, he's got them all over, not just boots on the ground. There's submarines everywhere as well. But there's also squaddies, British squaddies, American soldiers, squaddies, and they're in these super soldiers. They're in these different places. They're like sort of masked up, and they're doing things, which I don't want to say too much, because obviously it's protecting them. But it's like I'm being shown there's something going on military at the moment over that way. And they've got them in place. There's a lot more boots on the ground over there than we know. Secret soldiers. I know this sounds really horrible, but I'm getting air attack. What does that mean? Air attack can mean many things. Air attack. What does that mean, Jed? Russia and China are best friends when it comes to economy and that. But China knows, there's a lot of trade comes in and out around the world from China. Do you know what I mean? Is it drone attack? 8. There's something going on at the minute. But they've got protection for the people. When the Fool card comes out, it means that the people are protected. Okay? But you can't take this away. You've got the 8 of Swords upside down, which isn't very nice. Bearing in mind I work with a couple of decks, I've got another 8 of Swords, and that came out upside down as well. So 2 8 of Swords isn't good. And there's no timing on it. So there's something actually happening at the moment as I'm speaking. But there's a worry. I'm just getting a worry, and I think that advisors around Biden, there's advisors telling them if the USA goes in and strikes, it'll just get out of hand. But I'm telling you, Putin's connected as well. Putin's connected behind the scenes of it all. See, there's a lot of people who follow me who like Putin, and they think he's not the bad guy. But what I want to say to you is that they're all the same. It's all the same penny, two different sides. It's all about money. Everything's about money. And I believe that there was a lot of stuff going on all borders, not just in Ukraine. There was a lot going on all borders. And they were making money from dark situations. And because we're going into this new sort of system now, they have to clean things up. They can't get away with doing what they have been doing. So, in a way, what Grammy's put there is right, NWO, but they've labelled it different. There is, like I said in my looking glass, which I've just put out earlier on, that the technology is already here and it's tracking with. It's definitely tracking with. Hiya, Debbie. So I believe the technology, it's in the wrong hands. It's going against the people. There's a lot happening on this planet all at the same time. But the technology isn't going to go, guys. It's going to take time. Thank you, Debbie. It's definitely going to take time. So, when you look at it, like some people say, oh, like the white hats or the black hats, or they're in control, they're not in control. Life's not like that. I believe, and I've said this for a long, long time, that there's dark operations in good operations, and good operations in dark operations. There's a lot of spies out there. There's a lot of things going on. This could take a few years to sort out. It really, really could. What we're witnessing is we're going through a spiritual ascension. So the Great Awakening's one thing, the Ascension's something completely different, and it's very, very painful. It possibly is, Jazz. But we're also picking up, we're witnessing in 3D these different leaders, these little boys with their big toys and their bombs and everything, doing what they're doing. Because they're losing control. They're definitely losing control. But I also think that, I'm not saying it's not happening because it is happening, but if a situation, I think some of it is distractions, definitely. But there is something going off in the atmosphere, and we're curious cats. We want to know what's going on. We've got the Six of Cups. There's some huge news coming out within the next 2 days. So that could be by Tuesday. There is a few tribes in Iran, yeah? I'm getting the letter A and the letter B. So within the next 2 days, we're going to have some huge news what's going to come out. We will be all right, but we just have to stay vigilant. But these controllers of different countries, because they're not getting their own way with other countries, you've got some lunatics who are bombing other countries and you can see what's happening. It's all building up, but they're destroying each other. They're not bothered. None of them are bothered. Not one of them. Not from... They say they're bothered about civilians and troops, but it's all about money. Everything's about greed. And I'm coming from a armed forces family, a political armed forces family. And, my dad and my mum might disagree with us because they were secret military. Okay, but I do believe there's a lot of brainwashing what's took place on this planet as well. And you can't change the way people are. Everyone's on their own missions. I mean, I don't like the thought of nuclear, but my mum and dad, that age group, think that it's a good thing because it's a deterrent. But they served in the Cold War, you know. They are veterans. But I just think that it's, I haven't got to worry about so much nuclear. It's more other things. And it's all to do with energy. 8 of Cups. There's no timing on this. Something huge is happening now. Something huge is happening now. But I don't know if you remember that time when Biden had to make a decision. And, you know, was it to get them out of Afghanistan? When he just looked like a shriveled up little old man, didn't he? And he was looking at this big screen. He didn't even look like he was suited up. Because he's not capable. You need a strong leader. But this is out of Biden's hands. Now, there's a lot of people in the audience tonight who possibly don't like Biden. You know, I've got Republicans following us. I've got Democrats following us. And there's people out there say he's not even real. But, you know, I believe that he's just not strong enough for the job. That's what I believe. Yeah, I'm not going to go along with anybody else. I'm telling you what I'm getting. But there's also a compromise here. And we need to get the compromised people out. Whoever, what side. Puppeted, yes. And it's going to take, I'm telling you now, it's going to take the younger generation to sort this out. It's going to take the younger generation to sort this out. I'll be pulling cards out on Trump later. But I'm concerned. There's something to happen in the Middle East. Can this be avoided? Can this be avoided? Can this be avoided? With troops. It's part. Oh, no. Right. It's that is victory for the USA. There's like an intervention here, what's coming in. There's an intervention coming in here. And we've got the close, which is like the end, and then a new beginning. These are the younger generation going in. I mean, I know that's like a child card, but there's a lot of kids probably coming out of college now and they want to go and one of my good friends over in the USA, I read for her, she's a YouTuber actually. Her son's going in the military, you know, and she's worried. So there's a lot of young, clever kids going in the military all the time. I read for them. The world's going to change a lot, guys. But I am being told, and I've said this before, that I see the Statue of Liberty and she looks like she's weeping. She'll fall and then she'll rise again. But what will take a hit is the economy, and there'll be massive changes. But for the people who aren't the normies, you know, like the people who aren't awakened, they'll blame it on Trump. Everything will get blamed on Trump because it always does. But there's more to it. But this is inevitable. It was going to happen. They've planned this a long time. They've wanted this change. They've wanted this change. Will there ever be peace in the Middle East? That sort of rhymes, isn't it? Will there ever be peace in the Middle East? all the poor people in Ukraine, they're the ones who've suffered. And not to mention the young Russian soldiers as well, with his power hungriness, sitting there in his gold castle with his beautiful bird and all his money, ordering, the Russian soldiers to go in there. A lot of people are frightened of him, do you know what I mean? Let's not forget that. And there's been young mothers. I was watching some Russian news, and there was some conference, and he was on, and there was all these Russian mothers crying in the audience and shouting at him. They didn't even have their sons' bodies. Do you know what I mean? And Earth goes through this every so many 100 years. So Earth definitely goes through this so many 100 years. It's a clear up. So what's happening is there's a lot of these people high up where they've ducked and dived to make their money. Where they've ducked and dived to make their money. All right, you've got the temperance card there. All right, so it is very biblical times, and I'm not saying where the world's going to end, it's the world of what we know. We've got the sun card, so everything will be all right, but we're in the eye of the storm at the moment. We're definitely in the eye of the storm. It's like the Golden Gate prophecy, isn't it? I'm laughing here at Denise Ant. If Trump don't get in, it's all over. A load of rubbish. If Trump doesn't get in, it's not all over, right? There's more than Trump. There's more than Trump. Don't forget there's been a lot of brainwashing what's been going on. And don't forget, I'm not either side, but it's not all about Trump. There's been a lot of psyops. Trump is not the Messiah. Trump is not the Messiah. And there's been psyops, all distraction. We need to look within. That's what we need to do. It's an infection. What's took place in the United States of America, an infection of politics. Gary Grant. Hello, my British friend. Britain is going to send depleted uranium shells to Ukraine. Oh my God. Oh, it's gone up too fast. So I do believe that Trump's ducked and dived. I've said this from day one. He's ducked and dived to get what he wants. He knows how to play the game. And I've also said he'll be a hard man to take down. Putin's not a clone, but I think a lot of these people have attachments. It's like power's gone to his head. I like what Amy's put here. Do not put your faith, where was it gone? In man. Put your faith in God. We need to trust our instincts. So what's happened is there was a massive letdown, as we know, for the Republican Party with what happened in 2020. But then there was like this 17th letter of the alphabet what sneaked in and poisoned people's heads. Everyone's playing the part. Trump's playing his part. Biden's playing his part. Putin's playing his part. But I don't believe people are running around like in rubber masks, like clones. Let's read this quickly. Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible, Gary. And there's a lot of illnesses what's took place because of it. So it was a massive psyop to divide, an inside job to divide America. I would say both men have strengths and weaknesses, all right? But obviously, without getting into the whole Trump thing, I just think that I'm going to maintain what my guides say. If he gets back in again, something awful will happen. Something awful will happen. But it's not the end of the Republican Party. There's other young kids coming in all the time. There's other nice people coming in all the time. It was a horrible, disgusting psyop to twist people's heads. And then it was even infected within the truth communities as well. Yeah. And I mean, that's where I never became very popular, because I've had to stand on my own, and it was a massive test of faith for me. Do you know what I mean? Because I wouldn't go along with what other people were saying. And if the truth was known, these extraterrestrials out there in the galaxy what telecommunicate with people, they don't give two shits about politics. They don't, and especially rich politics who are ducking and diving. They're more bothered about saving this planet. That's what it's all about. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of people with attachments. I do believe that there is such a thing called synths which do live amongst us, and they've introduced these into, like you've got is it Sophia the robot and all of that, but they're already here. And I call them the cyborgs. They're already here. And to be honest, you wouldn't even know the difference. A bit like Star Trek, you've got, that is quite more obvious, like you've got, on Star Trek, you've got data on Star Trek. It's, they are walking amongst us. But as a spiritualist medium, all right, don't forget I'm a shaman, and there'll be many other people who will agree with us on this, right? People get attachments, demons, dark attachments, jinns, whatever you want to call them. And people can get holes in their aura through trauma, addiction, grief, many different things. And sometimes as well, these attachments and these demons can follow through ancestral roots. Don't forget, I've been in this field a long time, so I know what goes on. And some people are easily manipulated and easily puppeteered. Does that make sense? But it's not looking good for Trump. And I actually feel at the minute he's not very well. So neither's Biden, but I'm actually getting pains in the chest here. Pains in the chest. Let's see what's going on with these. And yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible what's happening to him. Yeah, it's, for God's sake. I mean, they're bringing something up from the past to do with a prawny person. I've got to be careful what I'm saying. A prawny person, it's definitely political based. It's been done, we can see what they're doing. But at the same time, I just think that it's going to get worse, guys. I'm being truthfully honest with you. There's a strong possibility he could still run again. Because, I mean, don't quote us. I don't understand all the laws over there. But even if he's indicted, I believe he could still try and run again. But what we need to do is, it doesn't mean he's gonna run again. He's gonna try and run again. That is a definite. So there'll be indictments. There definitely will be, possibly 2 or 3. But excuse me, but I'm not just getting with him. I'm getting other people around him. There's just a lot more dramas coming out. Definitely, they do have body doubles. But I would say definitely within the next couple of days to a week, there's going to be more dramas coming out. But it's all orchestrated for a political show. Do you know what I mean? But the person you've got to watch for is DeSantis. And this is a message for Democrats out there. If you don't want the Republicans in, Trump's not the problem here. It's DeSantis who would cause more chaos. And for the Republicans, I want to say that there's still another younger man to come in on the show who will be really nice. I don't know who he is, and a woman. There needs to be a feminine energy. There needs to be a feminine energy in the USA. It's just toxic, and it's infested with... Oh, I can't even explain it. It's just like bizarre. Yeah, there is something definitely dodgy there, Bambi Rose, yeah. And Kamala Harris, I mean, all she does is laugh. It's crazy, isn't it? And I mean, it's not a funny situation, really, to laugh about stuff when you're in that sort of position. There needs to if Trump runs again, or if DeSantis or somebody strong like that runs again, the Democrats are going to need a bloody strong candidate to come up against them. Why am I singing that song by Morecambe and Wise? All the Brits in the audience, who knows Morecambe and Wise? Bring me laughter, bring me sunshine, bring me rain. Ten of Cups. Peace. Peace will not reside in the United States of America, and I'm still sticking with this, until something happens to Putin, and then till they stop all this shenanigans, what's going on with Trump and that, and it all calms down. It's not going to reside. It's going to get worse. And if you thought the 2020 election was bad, this one's just far worse. Far worse. Is that it? Bring me fun, bring me sunshine, bring me love. Can't find Twitch TV on my Amazon Prime in Canada. Is anybody can help them out with that one? So you've got Biden, you've got Trudeau, and I mean we've had Biden recently who went to Canada. Let's see why he was going to see him. You see, I think they know everything what's going on. These Trudeaus and Bidens and Rishi Sunak, they all know what's going on, and so does Trump. And so does Putin. They all know what's going on and what the plan is for the globe. But just because they know what's going on, it doesn't mean they're good, it doesn't mean they're bad. It just means that some are going along with it and some aren't. But even that's got infested. Because when they've got their sticky little fingers in trying to steer humanity and the globe into the right direction, they also put their nasty, sticky little sort of rules in with the hidden agendas. But the hidden agendas won't always... It's going to take time to sort out. It's going to take time. 9 of Swords, 5 of Wands, 2 of Swords. I'm seeing a military man in the United States of America making an announcement. I don't know who that is. Because, is it Miley or Millie? Is he not retired? There's another man coming in quite high up and he's making an announcement. Children of Ukraine. There's more stuff to come out about that. There's been so much cover-ups. So much cover-ups. And if you think for 1 minute, right, whatever's been put out there on the news, if you think for 1 minute that Zelensky is like at loggerheads with Putin, they're all in on it, they're all going up the same path. They're all going up the same path. Because I was given that I could see, sometimes when I see a flash, sometimes I don't know if it's past, present or future. But I think that I could see them shaking hands at some point. Really weird. But there's more problems to come with Ukraine. Definitely more problems to come. And I want to send healing and blessings out to the people in Ukraine. It's going to get diffused with something what's going to go on over... Because this has been going on a long time, you know. There's been all this hoo-ha going on. 2015? Yeah, it's been going on a long time. But it's going to get diffused to do with something what's going to be going on over the other end of the world. Syria and Iran. So watch for this, guys. Oh, who does that? Bambi Rose? Oh. Oh, thank you. I don't think that could be possible. I can't even read it. What you've put in the chat, it's so hilarious. From That's so funny. I'm going to look at China in a minute. I'm just going with what? I'm on Ukraine at the minute. The whole place was run down anyway. It needs to be really built up. You'll get part of his land back. Russia will go a new republic into the future and there'll be another leader after him. What's going to happen to him? Donbass. So there's something happening as we speak. I'm seeing submarines. I see more air attacks. So there's been air attacks, hasn't there? There's more air attacks to come in. At the same time, something's going on in Afghanistan, Syria. I'm seeing all the mountains. And I'm seeing people getting transported in and out through tunnels. There's a lot of trafficking going on. Human trafficking. Okay. Isn't humans so crazy? I've never seen so much chaos on one planet. Isn't it? It's just absolutely crazy. Are we alien? This is crazy mental. And all this is going on around the world. And they don't want to have our opinion. Can you remember a time? And I'm sure the shift was, don't quote it, I think it was maybe, it changed about the early noughties, but where the news was normal. Now you put the channels on and it's this, everything's drama, isn't it? What to do with the media corporations and that. Right, so I see troops on a beach. Black Sea. M, they're giving us the letter M. By the way, I want to send healing and blessings out to everybody in Mississippi who lost their life in that dreadful storm. And I do fear that there's more storms to come. Right, I'm seeing another invasion and I don't know if he's going into another town. But that's what they're putting out on the news. Do you see what I mean? That's what they're saying, what they're doing, because they are doing it, but they're not saying what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of sneaky stuff going on behind the scenes, guys. Right, so I'm being shown the fields. I'm being shown the fields of Ukraine, all the beautiful farming fields, all destroyed. And the poor people who now can't trade, and farmers and that. Landmines. I want to say the next 3, and I don't know if it's 3 days, it could be 3 weeks, it could even be 3 months. Within the next 3, there's a situation to arise over Ukraine. And if it's not Ukraine, it's another country next to it. But it's something to do with sea and land, okay? Where China will have something to say on the situation, and it could cause a bit of a heart stopper. Belarus there's going to be a lot of trouble with Belarus. And I'm getting that song, Don't Cry For Me, Argentina. Yeah, the sunflower fields. Such a shame, isn't it? I'm getting that song, Don't Cry For Me, Argentina. There's going to be a lot of problems to come around that area. God. Do you know what it is? It's like, do you think he's wanting to take over Europe or something like that? Let me pull some cards out. Something will happen to him. And I've been told that one of his own will take him at some point. But there will be a new Ukraine. A lot to happen by, not this summer, by next summer. Putin's putting nukes in Belarus. Oh dear me. Right. He's manoeuvring in to take on next borders. But something's going to happen to him. Round about the time there's going to be some big news. I want to go over to the east, like I'm not sure if it's China or Kim Jong-un. I'm getting Kim Jong-un. He's another strange one. He's another one, sitting there in his rich castle, eating all his cheese, what he likes, that cheese with the holes in, while there's starving people on the streets. Do you know what I mean? It's awful. And there's a lot of poverty in Russia as well. They keep giving us this. They keep saying the tower's coming. The tower is coming. And it's the controllers are the one who are fighting. The ones who are fighting are the controllers. But like the picture there, you've got the 6 of Swords. He's like he's turning a negative into a positive, and he's finding something, and he's walking across the water. He's finding the stones. He's walking across the water. There is hope. But I keep seeing red and white, and I don't know. Yeah, it's like very Babylon, isn't it? But I'm seeing the red and white flag. But it's not just China with a red and white flag. There's other countries with a red and white flag, isn't there? So he's going to try and take over other countries. Then Germany's going to bring a shock in. I'm saying Germany's going to come in with a shock. I'm not saying whether they're taking Biden's side, but it could have something to do with NATO. Or it's pushing Germany into a corner. But Argentina may also look like they're being pushed into a corner, but they're not. It's really weird. So yeah, gold back coins coming out here very, very strong. So it's a lot to do with that, what's happening. Okay, so I'm going to put the cards back together again, get a little sip of coffee. It's all connected, yeah? There's going to be a lot of problems in Turkey to do with banks as well. So I've never maintained that all the banks are going down. I think it's just that some will fall. But remember when we had the trouble, in Greece, and everybody lost their money in Greece. The banks went down in Greece. I get worried there with other banks around the Mediterranean. Louise, I had a dream that Germany sided with Russia and ditched NATO. Yeah. There's something not quite right. I don't think they're gonna take sides, but they may ditch. But not while Angela Merkel's... She's not in power now, is she? Who's in power? And I'm also seeing a blonde-haired woman there. Guys Alexa said that the US will enter into a possible WW3. I believe so. Let me have a look. We haven't got to dwell on this. We've got to prep. We've got to be strong. We've got to look within. And the more we raise the frequency, the more it'll help. Okay. Like this picture here. So, something's been unplugged, as we know this, right? And it's to do with the banking system. So something's going on behind the scenes right now as we speak. Okay. I think it's unplugged. It's definitely unplugged. They've got the Eight of Rods, and this is what we need to do. We all need to look within, and we need to protect our auras and protect our bubbles. And I know it's easier said than done when, we're living in it and we're living amongst it. But the more we raise the vibrations, another light on earth, and it pushes away this evil, what's controlling these controllers type of thing. Okay, so we've got the King of Cauldrons here. Now, there's many ways you can look at this. It could be Trump. It could be Biden. But normally the King of Cauldrons is somebody with blondish hair. So work that one out. Okay. So he's not going anywhere. Not what the news and the media are saying, you know what I mean? He's not going anywhere. We haven't heard the last of him. There he is there. Interesting. So many different players and there's so many different timelines. That's like military there. And there could be at some point, there could be like military on the streets if things get out of hand. And like I've always said, when that happens, go inside, shut the doors. If that ever does happen, don't get involved in crowds, that type of thing. So it could get quite nasty at some point. And I'm not saying it's the full of the USA, but at some point you could be witnessing like soldiers on the street, that type of thing. Yeah, he does look like he has lost a lot of weight, hasn't he? Right, so then we've got another lady here, and she's the Queen of Pentacles. And normally darkish to the hair. She's going to be a Republican. She's going to try and run. Okay. And then we've got this lady. She came over upside down. She used to come in as well. She's got her blue dress on. Okay, so you've got two new and up-and-coming women coming in here. It all depends. It all depends. Because if he does get back in, he'll not last 5 minutes. And I'm telling you that now. He'll not last 5 minutes. Plus as well, you've got to look at like all of these older politicians. They're getting on a bit, aren't they? They're getting on a bit. Do you like them? I like that. So what we've got to do is, And I know I'm not saying we're sticking my head in the sand. I always say this. We have to raise the frequency. We need to raise the frequency, right? And we need to say that our cup's half full, not half empty. Abundance. And I'm getting, even though it's a crescent moon there, I'm being given, my guides are saying Sorrento Moon. I used to love that song by Tina and Marina. Do you remember that? Sorrento Moon. So that's June. It's June. I've always felt if they're going to get Trump, they'll get Trump with people around him, because he's had some lot of dirty players around him, and a lot of people weren't serving him right and who were backstabbing him. The Two of Swords, we've got the Empress. It's a woman's energy what's coming into the United States. But that doesn't mean it's straight away. It could be there's a man elected and he doesn't last 5 minutes and then they bring a woman in. But there's a feminine energy. That's what the angels want. Fairness for the people. Yeah, there's something going on with banks. Let's pull some cards out on the banks. So yeah, it doesn't look very good at the minute, but he could try and run again. But that doesn't mean he's going to succeed. It could be Carrie Lake. I'm not... You haven't heard the last of Carrie Lake, but I don't know about her. Tulsi Gabbard's got more of a chance than Carrie Lake. Tulsi Gabbard's got a military background, and I don't know. That's just what I'm feeling. But then there's also that other woman, isn't it? The other woman who was helping Trump that time, and I can't think. She's got like a Native American background. Or was that Carrie? All very interesting. And I don't know who the woman is on the Democrat side. Tulsi's supposed to be a Democrat, isn't she? But I think she's swung the other way. But you've got to understand, you've got the other one. What's she called? Cheney. She's a Republican through and through. And I'll tell you something, right? And she did make a statement about this. And I wouldn't put it past her. If Trump did try and run again, Cheney has every chance to jump ship to go and run on the Democratic side. That would be the only way she would switch to come up against him. I'm sure she comes from a Republican background, doesn't she? It's just what I'm being shown here. A lot of people jumping ships. Remember, it's all the same penny, two different sides. It's all the same penny, two different sides. Canada. God bless the people of Canada, because things aren't good there, are they? And they're not happy. Okay, so again, it's like the same thing, what's going on behind the scenes, you know. And look at this. It's like all this corruption here. Not serving the people well. We've got the moon card upside down. Making a lot of money while they're sitting in power. Bit like them lot in Parliament, you know, over here. Then we've got the illusion. Everything's an illusion. And I get the feeling I get with Trudeau is the same feeling that I get with lady what left New Zealand. Do you know what I mean? I don't get a worry. I just think there's a woman to fall into place to come into power in Canada. But I don't understand politics, you know, like the ins and the outs of the I'm not that clever enough to understand it. I'm a visionary, I'm a messenger. But what I'm showing here is, I can see Trudeau sitting at a desk. Let me get me thing. I'm seeing him really clear as day. And he's got these document papers in front of him. And he's having to make a decision. He wants to get out of the situation, but he can't get out of the situation. This is what I'm feeling he's going through at the minute. Do you want the truth? Do you want the full truth? Nothing but the truth? Because that's what I'm saying. He's sat at this desk and he wants to get out of the situation, and in whatever situation it is, and he can't because he's tied in. So there's something going on there. And document paperwork will actually prove this. But he was making... There was handshakes going on with Biden, and it's all to do with this New Earth stuff. You know, when they're all met up in, was it Scotland? Yeah, be tied in with all of that. Angel Heart. Yeah. But I see Trudeau, something to do with the Middle East. Or round about the time... Not the Middle East, I think it's more Saudi Arabia East. Okay? Unless there's big announcements around about that time, there's going to be big news with Trudeau. And I'm remote viewing here, this is really strange. And I'm seeing big, flat, I don't even know if they're buildings. They look like flat plates. And they're putting them everywhere. And it's something like solar farms or something. And deals to be made. And I'm also getting Australia as well. They're getting it all into it as well. So you just got to watch for this to play out, guys. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know when the next election is with Canada. When's the next? Could be wind farms. Huge solar disc farms. Whoppers, right? When's the next election in Canada? When is it? Because I sort of see him just leaving. And it'll all just happen quickly. All right, okay. Also watch... Oh, thank you. Thank you, Bambi Rose. Also watch for not gifts, as for seeing the gift. Also watch for scandal to come out with a woman to do with around him as well. So watch for that. Also, there's going to be big news to do with a celebrity. Give me 5 minutes, guys. I'm going to go for a little break. I'm going to finish this off first. Because, no, I need to go more deeper into this, actually. Give us 5 minutes, and then I'm going to dim the lights, and I'm going to see what he's up to, because there's something funny going on over there. And I need to... Let's have a Betty and Bobby break. If it does your head in, just turn it down until I come back. And I'm going to look more into Canada, because there's something... Because when it all changes, I see the Canadian flag. There's a timeline where the flag could change. So I need to look deeper into this. Okay? So I can get this right for you. The next Canadian election usually would be before or on October the 25th. Okay? Right. So give us a few minutes. I'll be as quick as I can. I'm going to go and make a juice. An orange juice. I won't have me naughty cigarette at the back door. I'll be back in a minute. All right? Right. Okay, I'm back. Give us a 5-5 if you can hear us. Can you hear me? Let's refresh the chat. I'm going to look into the weather. I'm going to go back into Canada. I'm going to see if I can remote view into there. And I might do some more remote viewing for you guys. Would you like that? Definitely need younger generation, Robert. Definitely. How is it in Tasmania? What's the weather like over there today? I never touch upon Tasmania much, do I? I think there's a lot of... I've got a few clients over there. In Tasmania, it's full of rich algae and a lot of sea life and that. Okay, that's good. Right. Canada. Let's pull some cards out. But I think I'm going to have to do some scrying. Tasmanian devil. I know you always think of that, don't you? Eventually, yes. But he's going, when he goes, it'll just be all quickly. No fuss. He'll just make an announcement. That's what I feel. A bit like the lady in New Zealand. That's what I feel what's going to happen. Welshman, common law UK have begun. New UK wants 21 million to constables to arrest the... I could imagine that. I could well imagine that. Oh, hello in the Netherlands. So even though, you will be sitting around the world and I'm seeing all of this for different countries and that, you will be all right. Don't forget I'm a healer as well. All right. It's a strange one because I'm a psychic and I can see world events in our remote view. Sometimes I don't know what's past, present and future. It's so intense. But I do believe there's such thing as free will. So when I'm reading for somebody, if anybody ever comes to us for readings, I'll tell you what will happen if you go down like that path one, that one or that one. Because there's different timelines. You get to the same destination in the end. And I believe there's certain things mapped out in your life what's fate. Don't forget, a lot of our fate lines have been frozen with all this strange stuff going on. And there's strange stuff going on with time as well, which I will touch upon on Tuesday night. We're going to go woo-woo on Tuesday night. Okay? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when you're waking up in the morning, you feel like you're so tired. You feel like... I mean, we do feel like this at the minute because of the clock's going back, but over here it's... Oh, is it gone forward? I really don't know anymore. I get mixed up with it all. But there's more to it than that. I think they're taking minutes out of hours. Do you feel like that? Lonis. Ask the question again, Lonis. I'll take questions at the end. Let's do Canada. Time is speeding up, isn't it? Weird. But part of the ascension is, that's what I was saying, the Great Awakening's nothing. Ascension's very painful because that's the hard work. That's when you've got to dig deep and you've got to heal your wounds. And it depends how far you want to go back. I don't believe anybody's completely healed. I really don't. There's only God who is completely healed. That's the source, all right? So, but you can get rid of a lot of stuff and work on it. But myself and other shamans I've talked to, it's like the more you dig, the more painful it is. And the more isolated you can become, because then you become more aware. So you've got to get that balance. And then what's happened with this Great Awakening is people have jumped out of the matrix sort of thing, out of what's really going on. And then you have all these psyops coming in and, and it drags people back down again and it puts them on a false path of reality. So after the awakening, then you've got to heal within. And once you heal within, it's a bit like the law of attraction. Then your whole life starts to change. Does that make sense? And the more people do that, the more it raises the vibration across the planet. Do you know what I mean? the Wheel of Fortune. So he's in it for the money. He's in it for the money. Like a lot of them are in it for the money. And when you've got Rishi Sunak running around in a bloody top of the notch sports car, you know, him and his wife are billionaires, and where people there's poverty on the streets in the UK, you know what I mean? And it's just terrible. My mother said today that, you know, she says, the government's raising the what was it? She said the pensions by so many pence, and she seemed really pleased, God bless her. And I thought, oh my God, do you know what I mean? And this is what I mean. It's like, it's hard when you love your loved ones and they're not all awakened, but it's, you know, maybe it's not their path. Maybe it's, you know, when they're in their 80s, you can't upset them. Do you know what I mean? And then we become the adults and they become the children. But Trudeau is definitely in it for the money. They're all in it for the money. But the strange thing is, he was born to do this job. It's part of his, he was chosen. His eyebrow falling off. What's that about his eyebrow? He was chosen. We've got the Ten of Swords. So there's something bothering him at the minute. I'm going to do some remote viewing in a minute. I sort of see him sitting at this desk and he has a decision to make, and there's 3 ways he can go. There's 3 ways he can go. But he's a bit worried at the minute. So something's going on behind the scenes. Now, this could be personal, because I've got to look at this very biased, but I somehow think it's not. I think there's more going on than meets the eye. 8 of Swords, 10 of Swords. Some big news to come out with Trudeau. Definitely, I would say, within the next 2 months. Could be 2 weeks, but I'm going to say 2 months, because the Swords is months. Will the strikers in the UK win? There'll have to be more strikes, unfortunately. But I'm going to look into UK after this. Okay. So somebody else above Trudeau is telling them what to do. There's a lot of compromise going on there. There's a lot of compromise. I know they've risen the universal credit in the UK to £26. I mean, come on. It's terrible, isn't it? I mean, inflation's gone up a hell of a lot more than that, hasn't it? It's such a worry. It's such a worry. It's going to have to be the scrying, guys. 7 of Cups. There's funny stuff going on with his love life as well, but I don't want to really get into that because that's his affairs. But for the people of Canada, you will get victory. But it's going to take a little time. Sometimes you have to let things play out at the right timing. But when he exits, he will exit quickly to avoid something. To avoid something. So where you've got the truckers and what happened, I think that could happen again. Do you know what I mean? That's like the rich and the elite, but that's globally. There's a terrible imbalancement here. But what we've done is we've looked out of the box and looked at these politicians to who's good and who's bad, when really they're all as bad as each other. Do you know what I mean? Because they're all the ones who are sitting there like that. And even Trump, even Putin, they're all sitting there like that with their big fat turkey legs and their champagne and in their golden castles, when it's the people who are suffering. So there needs to be more fairness. There needs to be more democracy, more fairness. There needs to be no homeless. There needs to be more help for the mental health. All of these things, it's going to take time. And we've thought that these people are the ones who are going to sort it out. And it's not. They have to break the system to get the right people in. A woman will step in and it'll be on a 9. So it could be the 9th month. Or it could be 9 months from now. 9's going to be connected. A woman will step in into Canada. And there's also a mousy haired kind of guy as well. Yeah, I'm sorry guys for using the audience tonight who don't know how to do the Twitch on Amazon. Forgive me, right? Because I would be the same as these people in the audience. And when it comes to creating videos and doing movie making, I can do that and I'm creative. But I get myself into a tizzy with stuff like that, and I've had to left it up to the people who know what they're doing or my moderators to tell people, and I'm really, really sorry. I'm trying my best. Do you know what I mean? Of course, I work all God's hours under the sun. Yeah. 9 of Wands. The 9 of Wands. He will exit quickly. There'll be new laws. There's going to be more draconian laws to come in again. So Canada's not completely out the woods yet. But what takes place in Europe? You know how I've said there's different timelines. What takes place in Europe will affect the economy. Then you've also got the hoo-ha going on where we could be on the edge of something to do with the WW. It's like, because they want to affect the economy. That's what's going on. But trade's going to be a problem. It all depends if Trump gets back in or not. So for the person who asked in the audience tonight, the vision I've seen about the Canada flag changing, and I still see that as a timeline. It all depends if Trump gets back in or not. Does that make sense? Now that might sound a bit vague what I'm saying, but that's what I'm being given. I don't think we're out the woods yet. I mean, Canada's a huge place, isn't it? Because the ball's given as Alaska, and there could be problems off the coast of Alaska, and it could have something to do with Putin as well. These leaders, these people with attachments, they've got negative attachments, but they're so focused because it's part of their soul's journey, what they need to do. Even Hitler did this. Well, I often wonder that way, writer. And I never used to vote, even though I come from a political background, I just never felt the need to. I've always gone on my instincts. But it was only just up to last year or something, they made it law that we had to fill in something in the UK to vote. Otherwise they can fine you. I mean, you've got to fill in something to do with who you are and ask you loads of questions and all of that. My instinct is just so they can manipulate it. Do you know what I mean? So they can use your name. That's what I feel. Because I don't trust the UK government at all. 120% I don't trust them, and I never have trusted them. Now ask us a few years down the line, I might change my mind, but at the minute, no. Not while all this is going on. And I come from like a Labour background. But I mean, I warmed a bit when Boris was in and for a short time. You know what I mean? But that all changed. But yeah, I don't think either one's fit at the minute. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. That's nothing to do psychically. I'm just still looking at Trudeau here. What is it he's worried about? Signing. If he signs something, it's going to put more pressure onto the Canadian people. And he knows there'll be massive kick-offs. I'm not saying this is exactly, but I am getting a funny feeling about these 15-minute cities, what they're trying to bring in all over the place. It might have something to do with that. But there's part of this agreement is to tell people where to go, what to do. And my opinion is they're walking down the wrong path because it's not going to work with the people. But I'm also seeing something to do with refugees in Canada as well, or there's going to be a problem. A lot of problems to come. Part of Canada could change. And I've said this before with the USA as well, where it could be split into two. It's like he's playing out his role, but he's not really happy with doing it. That's what I'm being shown with Trudeau. It's coming out really strong. But there's somebody under him who's an opportunist who wants to get in. But then there's also on the other side, there's a blonde-haired woman and a man with mousy brown hair. I'm seeing an island and I see problems on this island. Where's New Guinea? I'm being also, I don't know if that's connected. I'm getting New Guinea, something there. But there's going to be problems with an island. Burning island. And lots of water. Right, so India's going to do very well. India's going to do very, very well. There's a lot of countries which are going to rise. But the way I see BRICS is it's just the same as the other side. There's a third lot to come in here. So we've disrupted the ants, lots of cockroaches. Sorry, where the ants. We've disrupted the cockroaches. And they're scuttling out to form different groups. Big freeze to come by the end of the year. My God. So places like where I've got my friends in Iceland and Norway and Sweden, you're going to have to really stock up. New law coming in with log burners, and I know there's been parts of the states in the US where they've been trying to stop log burners, but I see that getting stopped. So log burners are a must for the future. But I don't think that they want them. Where I was today, where I went to the lovely farm place where there was a cafe, like a tea rooms, they had a lovely log burner because it was quite cold over here today. and it was burning away there. It was so lovely. And the walls were stone and that, you know. It was really lovely in this cottage place. And I had a cheese scone, I did, and I had a cappuccino, and it was rather nice. I've just seen Bill Gates' face bounce out of this crystal bowl. And I don't know why I'm seeing him in communication with Trudeau. That's really, really strange. Mass migrations are coming in here. Mass migrations, problems to do with the Middle East. It's coming out really, really strong. Oh yeah, cappuccino with the chocolate on the top. And they had a meal. They all got different foods, meals. I didn't have a meal because I just had a beef roast dinner. But it was nice. I'm seeing that vision again, and I've seen it before with me remote viewing. I'm going to dim the lights, guys. No, I'm not going to dim the lights yet. No, I am. I'm going to go with it. Let us go with it. I want to say that there's a lot of strange events to come off globally. And when I see these things, it's like remote viewing. There's no timing on it. There's no timing, so it could happen at any time. It's like locations that I'm seeing. So I'm going to do some remote viewing. I'm not covering my eyes yet because I'm still sort of half scrying to do with the UK as well. Where is it? Where's it gone? Right, a little while ago I had done this raw remote viewing session, and I seen like a quarry. I don't know if I told you about this. In the quarry, it looked like a crater, and there was military in this quarry, and there was an opening. I just did it a few weeks ago, I'm sure I did. And I'm going back to that location again. How do I put this over without the enemy knowing? It looks like it's US military, and they're getting them in. And it looks like a secret military place, okay? Yeah. And then I'm seeing like sort of that shape. There's two entrances in this quarry, and then there's soldiers coming in and out. Do you remember the program called MASH? MASH, was that a program in the 70s where they would set up camp? It was like a funny comedy thing. I'm not saying it's funny because it's not funny, but they look like that, like they're setting up camp there, right? That's what it looks like. And they're preparing for something. And there's loads and loads of US soldiers. And this is like secret military. This is what I'm saying at the moment. So I'm not going to put my opinion in here or try and analyse it. But let's go for it. So anybody who hasn't seen us do remote viewing, raw remote viewing, I cover my... I need to get one of them sleep masks so it doesn't squash my hair. So I just put like the sleep mask across type of thing. But needs must. Now the good stuff starts. Yeah, but getting into the UK before I do this, I just think we're going to have a lot of protests. Oh, I've just seen problems, big changes to come in with Scotland. Debates. But it's like we need to wave a magic wand over the UK because it's like it's been totally taken over by them lot, like. But there'll be problems to come out with the UK, and it's something like a signature or like he signed over for something where there hasn't been a voting on it. Watch for this. There's a lot of alarming stuff to come out what the Tory party have done, and it'll come out. There'll be a lot of big changes and there'll be a lot of problems by this summer. And before I get into this, I get a strange feeling about Harry, and it's to do with the coronation. And if it's not around the coronation, it's just after the coronation. There's going to be a lot of problems there to do with Harry. And I still maintain, if he gets crowned, you'll not be there for long. Because I see William and Kate on money. Let's start. Let's remote. All right. So I just got to cover my eyes. I know it might look a little bit strange, right? Just so I'm in the dark. Now, obviously, I can't answer your questions because I can't see through the cloth. I'm not doing channeling. These are just raw remote viewing that I'm seeing. I'm not going to analyse it. It's up to you if you just want to analyse it. Okay. I've done this for police, for murder inquiries. I've done this for military, secret military, to help find soldiers in Baghdad who were abducted. So, let's start. And obviously I do it for you guys. Let's see what I'm saying. I feel a bit strange there. Wait a minute. It's a bit tight on my eyeballs. Wait a minute, because I'm not comfortable. E-reminders on, guys. Who's on my Facebook to get order as a sleep mask thing. Right. Okay. Right, so I'm standing next to this quite large gentleman, and I'm on the ground in this sort of quarry, in the middle of the quarry, and he's got something what looks like an oxogram shape, flat disc thing. Location unsure. I am being given Arizona desert. In it, it looks like a like a satellite. No, it's not. No, sorry. It's like them plates you put on your roof for solar. It looks like a solar energy thing, like an energy device. It's flat, but he's keying something into it. He's and there's other ones. They're in flat boxes. It's a device. It's a protector or weaponry. It's a protector. It's a deterrent. AI equipment they use for attacks. Okay, I'm getting a very Space Force connection here. In Space Force, I do believe is going on. Right, I'm going into Raw now. I'm leaving that. I'm leaving that for now. I don't want to analyse it. I'm walking down a dirt track. Looks like grass on either side. I'm getting a very sort of it's remote countryside. It's I'm getting an African feeling. Why am I getting an African feeling? And I'm also getting a Ukraine feeling as well. Why is there a connection? Where am I? So I've just got to empty my head. It looks like a trench, but it's not a trench. It's a path. It's a pathway, and it's high up on either side. Greenery, rough grasses walking down. Fields on either side. Okay, I'm going down. Underground, it drops down. Hidden location drops down into a huge sort of complex, like a opening. I'm seeing the words DWM. I can go straight ahead or I can go slightly left, but straight ahead looks very deep. It's cold, it's windy, it's quite scary. I'm going down the tunnel. It's in a tunnel, it's in a dome. It looks quite ridged around the outs on foot and going up the sides, either side. And the wind's very windy. There's markings on the walls as the more I'm going in. Like letters and gaps, like a line and then a gap and then a line and a gap. It's like going in. There's a sort of as you're going in, there's a glass and there's military behind, like some sort of security. Chicken people in. It's all dark. but I can hear this droning noise. I'm going down. Okay. I'm coming to this huge door, but it's not a door. It's a shutting area. The line down, a shutting area. It's flat. It's definitely military. I'm feeling very uneasy. It opens at a certain point. It's opening now, going through. Alarms are going. Loads of military. I'm just cloaking myself. Okay, guys. Okay. I don't know where I was getting the Arizona desert and then I was getting Africa, but I'm actually, again, it's Russia. It's Russia where I am. It's Russia. Just be careful. Right. So I'm going down to this great big huge complex again. There's a lift. I'm losing it. Sorry, wait a minute. Going down in the lift. And it's just personnel everywhere. There's like somebody driving some sort of electric scooter thing with boxes on the back. There is some Kremlin men, high officers, and they are talking. They are there's three people having a main conversation, and there's a woman doing something at the desk, and then there's another man. There's three sort of generals sitting around this table, and then there's another man, and he's got like a whiteboard, and he's showing locations. Help us out here, please. KWA, is that a place? Like a long word. And then something beginning with M. These are the like towns. Nope. Something places where they are wanting to go in next. Six and 12's being given, but I'm not saying that's a date. It could be a location. DWPML, no, T, DWPT. I don't know what this means. Okay. Then there's they're talking and they've got this screen up and they're showing us this supersonic weaponry and how they're locating it from space to the ground. It's not from ground to ground into the Earth's air to ground to another country. They are using the weaponry from space. They're They're using it from space and through the atmosphere with computers. They are planning an attack on the USA, cyber attack. If things don't go their way, to do with the US the next election. This is intel I'm being given. Whatever you want to do with this, if there's any officials need this, I'm free to give more information. They have had a hand in it. They've had a hand in it. They have meddled. There is information to come out about this. They can't get past it in the UK. MI6 must be different. Inside jobs. I'm coming out of there. I'm going back to the quarry. I'm coming out. How are they doing it? Incident from where is Neil's Island or something like that? Where's Neil's Island a place? They have hidden locations around allies, countries, in mountains. They are working with allies. Supersonic weaponry, but US know this. They have developed high-tech equipment to combat this. The feeling that I'm getting from these plates, they can stop a whole global takedown of internet cyber attacks. They are frantically building this new equipment, this new technology. They are integrating it into systems to make the whole grid crystal, like a crystal energy grid, And there's so many people know this when you are high up ranks. So the weaponry and also protection against this weaponry. It's energy attack. It's not nuclear we need to worry about. It's energy attack. And what they are planning could be catastrophic if they took the whole lot of countries down. It could cause starvation. There would be backups for hospitals and generators, but it would only last so long. Xi Jinping knows this. Xi Jinping, it's going on in space. They're frantically building space cities, so is Japan. But they still want to trade. It's the fight who gets the most countries for the most trade. But this new highly advanced equipment is a defense mechanism. And I can't say too much more on that, in case the enemy is watching. Where am I going now? I'm going back into the ocean and I'm seeing the whales. She is sleeping, the great white whale. She is having babies. I'm communicating with her and I'm stroking her. She's carrying 2 cubs. She's just off the coast of China. She comes from planet Sirius. They brought them in great light ships. They're not from Earth. Earth is not what we see it is. She shows me great technology is taking place on this planet. The Earth is round as it appears, but it is dome, it is baseball, with an opening from the north to the south poles. The atmosphere around what rotates around gives the appearance of round. There is a centre of Earth, and Earth is not what we know it is. She showed me. She is sleeping. She feels sick tonight. The oil, what's gone into the fish, what she's feeding off for her babies. She worries, and I'm rubbing her tummy. She worries for her baby. She's planning on going further out, away. The cruelty, they have to dodge the poachers. The sister's been taken. She has a male. There is a male she loves. And he's lost it. He's gone to sea to get help and he hasn't come back. Am I allowed to channel her? Just a little. Don't worry, humanity. We as from the animal kingdom, the great whales, the great white whales, we come with peace. We know the secrets of the sea. We travel through great portholes, through your sea worlds. And there is grand openings. Even a centre is not a centre. A centre is space and time. I have eaten some beautiful algae through a cave and I feel much better. My babies will be fine. I wait for my love to come back. We communicate, we telecommunicate. He's gathering other whales. He's escaped poachers. He has picked another love, but I love him. And in the whale community, we can have many different wives. God made it that way. Humanity has changed and has been manipulated so much throughout the centuries. We want to communicate with your children's children. We want to give you the light, the codings. Kaya Saya Hayashia. You will hear us singing. Shut your eyes at night and you will hear us singing. And through the songs and through our sounds, you will receive our light codings, our serious light codings. It is nearly time for my children to come. The man with the oil, the man, the cruel man, the oil, the plastic, the toxins will be stopped. The man from the stars who is on your planet, who will make technology to clean our oceans. Just 'cause they are from stars does not mean they are good. In your eyes, see with your heart, sing with your heart. The dolphins have it hard. The seals, the sea lions. We were brought here to communicate with you all and to our home planet Sirius. Just like this channeler, the channeling on Mars with the jelly fish, we have a communication, a highly advanced communication where we report back what is going on Earth's seabed. We can go through portals of time, but then we cannot return. Because I am with children, and I have family here, I choose to stay on Earth. I sing every night for my love, and I know he's coming back. I send love and peace and great light codes to all who need this tonight, and my light codes will heal you and correct your cells in your body. How you've been hurt, we've been hurt. But through water they cannot touch us with weaponry, what they can on soil. Water will heal Seawater will heal. Salt baths will heal. To take away the oxides, the pollution, and alkaline, the enzymes of the technology. They are connecting with you on your planet right now. Eat greens. Lots of greens. Bathe in salt, in vinegar, apple cider vinegar. This will stop the communication of the attacks. I am Shayalu, 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 the great-granddaughter of the great whale. I must go to have my cubs. Goodbye, humanity. Thank you. Stroking. I can see them now. They're like coming out of our like little babies. Just said one more thing. Whale's milk. Whale's milk? Didn't know they had whale's milk. Maybe that's something we need to find out. It's very good for the humanoid body. Behind the gills, whale's milk. Thank you. She's going to send light cordons of healing for everybody who needs it. And this will detox and cleanse the humanoid body. It will dissolve in time, she's saying. They never finished their work, what they were trying to do. It will dissolve in time. Everything's frequency, everything's energy. When you believe, you heal. Thank you. Namaste. I'm coming up to the water now. Thank you. Right. Hoo-hoo-hoo. Thank you. Oh, bless her. Did you like that? I love connecting with the animals. I nearly had a lion come in. She got there first. It was so important. She wanted to tell us there was a code with that message. You'll have to work that one out. Whale milk, never heard of that before. But there was a code with that message, and she wants you to re-listen to that when you can. I don't know if she was going on about what people have been having done with it, or it's just everything in the atmosphere that we need to detox from. But seeing how they're connecting, they're trying to track and connect, and by doing what she's telling me to do will help our bodies and alkaline our bodies or something. Lovely, beautiful. Yeah, the animal kingdom are very misunderstood and very underestimated. think it's got something to do with our DNA. Because once you start to ascend and you dig so deep, then you'll connect with the animals you need to connect with. Because we are mammals. We are the reflection of what's out there in the galaxy. And the extraterrestrials at Channel tell me this. They say that they have medicine, you would be matched with the mammal who you are. Apple cider vinegar and greens, yeah. Salt. Yeah. And bathing in salt. A lot of sea moss is helping. Yeah, that's what you were saying. Oh, really, Katamana? During the one of my cats came and laid on my chest and started purring loudly. Cats are very, very psychic characters. You've got to understand that what's going into the sea will go into the food chain as well. And it needs to be stopped. There's not just oil going into the sea and plastic. There's something else they're pumping in certain parts of the sea, what they shouldn't be pumping into the sea. And it's hurting them. But consequently, it will get into our food chain. Great book, Zodiac and the Salts of Salvation, yeah. I've got a book somewhere where it's Eat for your body type, for your blood group. But I will be doing videos on this. Tree moss tastes fishy, not salty. Interesting. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that tonight, guys. Again, we're going to have to stop there. It's 1:45 in the morning. Quite an interesting one. Mining the seabeds. Strange times we're living in. But for another time, we've got Tuesday night. And that's going to be woo-woo. Yeah, it all goes into our star signs and our genetics and everything, doesn't it? But we just need to hold the line and we need to keep grounded. And but yeah, interesting what I had seen with the US soldiers. So they've developed something to stop this. There's something going on behind the scenes, guys, and it's all Space Force stuff, what's going on. It's all Space Force stuff. But I'll see you Tuesday night. Musemaster, anyone here? Oh, Xbox where you can chat with people where you're playing. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah. There's heavy chemtrails and all sorts of nasty things out there, isn't there? Pesticides and nasty stuff. And last resort. Not at the moment, Angel Heart. I'll see you Tuesday night, wherever you all are around the world. Take care, God bless. I'm off to make a cup of tea and get my gym jams on. And let's see what unfolds over the next couple of days. But I don't know, just connecting with her just made us go all sleepy. All sleepy. And I think it's a nice one to end on, isn't it? With that beautiful white whale. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I'll see you Tuesday night. And may the force, right? May the force all be with you all. I'll see you then. Oh yeah, I'm going to go and hydrate. Whew. I'll sleep well. Always do when I've connected with the animals. I'll see you Tuesday night. Bye now.